Hi, I'm Evan, Director of Product Management at WolfPack Systems. In this video, I'm going to provide a demo of the WolfPack Central System and provide some information to help show how it can deliver great tour experiences. After a little bit of introduction, I'll fire up the system and we'll do a hands-on demo seeing how the web portal works, how you can plan things out, as well as the mobile app experience for your clients. So we've learned a lot as a company providing itinerary and route-based planning to a whole range of customers, and that ranges from tour organizers to clubs to individual travelers planning a weekend and how to get from A to B and do some interesting things in the middle. So what Wolfpack Central does is brings together a management platform that's provided through the web to be able to do a lot of planning, and we'll go through that in the demo in a moment, as well as a mobile app that can be handed to customers to be able to see the itineraries that have been planned for them and potentially even do some navigation while they're at it if the tour calls for it. So just to kind of go down the list here a little bit. So we are continuing to evolve and build out itinerary planning. So, being able to really put down the list of experiences that you want your clients to have as they go on a tour and details around that, images along the way, places you're stopping, details, and so forth. Um, One of the things that makes us unique is that we actually have the ability, Central provides the ability to do route planning. So instead of only having the option in your itinerary to put details and some pictures together, maybe you've got a bike tour or a car tour or people getting in different vehicles, or maybe that's something you'd want to do but haven't been able to do today. What the Wolfpack mobile app allows is the ability for each one of those travelers to be able to get turn-by-turn navigation along a path that you pick out, and you could have stops and all kinds of details underneath that. But it's really a unique point of what Wolfpack offers. Um, because they've got that mobile app, what it allows you as the organizer, you get real-time visibility of each trip and each traveler on those trips. So you can see where maybe if some support's needed, if somebody missed a stop, missed their bus, is delayed getting to the rendezvous point, something like that. Um, Wolfpack gives you the ability with one screen to see what's going on across all the tours you might be having at one time. Additionally, again, through that mobile app, there's one source of communication. So there's a chat that is available just to the group on the tour, as well as guides, as well as your back office. So again, it provides some interesting ways to provide support and not have to be fumbling around for phone numbers and adding to the confusion, trying to figure out how to communicate. You can just get on with it right through the Wolfpack app, and your travelers, your customers immediately know where to go. And then finally, a couple other things. Well, I mentioned the app, but the other thing is that we provide reports and insights into what's resonating on different tours, so that you can learn and build based on previous experiences as you plan new tour offerings. So now we're going to jump into a bit of a product demo of Central. So we'll start by going through trips and points of interest and putting some of those details together and how to start planning trip templates that can be assigned to different groups over time. We'll talk about creating those groups and onboarding clients and so forth. What the mobile experience looks like through both, as things get assigned to a group and as people, are looking to get started, clients of yours are looking to get started, and then what it looks like from the dashboard view. We'll see a quick demo of that to show what monitoring is offered by the platform. The form this will take is we'll put together a pretty simple walking tour just to see how that works, and then assign it and kind of see things end to end. Okay, so the first thing we'll look at is how trips are handled in Wolfpack. So you can see that I'm here on the trip screen. Everything in Wolfpack is template based. So you see that word appear up here. What that means is that you can plan things out and then reuse things as needed as different customers come through your door. You're not having to create and recreate the same plan over and over again. Those trips can include things like places you go, the routes to get there, as well as a lot of details underneath the hood. So just to kind of show a couple things on this screen. So up above is a button to create template. We'll come back there in a minute. Down here, each row in your list of trip templates, you can actually click on to see more detail. So in this example, you can see it's actually a hike. So I'm actually on a hiking trail in this map preview. Over on the right, you can see details about where we're going to be. Not the most interesting things since we're on a hiking trail. And then there are some controls here to be able to assign this this trip or this one here we're looking at to groups over time. Right here above my mouse is a detail, point of interest detail. So you can see there's a little indicator about the thing at that point. We'll talk about that in some more detail later. And then the last thing up here is, I guess we'll go up to the trip template and I'll create a basic walking tour near our headquarters outside the Washington, D.C., in the Washington, D.C. area. So we'll take a little walk around the tidal basin downtown to look at the cherry blossoms. It's kind of a popular springtime activity here. I'll label it walking just to keep things clear. So the first step is to create the basic route. So I'll enter a start and destination here. So we'll start the Lincoln Memorial. I'm just you've got your standard place search here, so you can look for individual addresses or points of interest by name. So we'll put the destination over here in a neighborhood that has a few restaurants, things like that. And you can see that there's a pretty basic from start to destination route there. Not super interesting. Um, and maybe that's what you're looking for, but most likely you want to add a little bit more detail. So you can do that through waypoints. So saved points of interest we'll talk about in a bit. There's an address search here, so you can, just like I did before, search for an address or a particular place. Same interface as before. So I will yeah, let's put this in the World War II Memorial. So that's on the National Mall here. So you see that there's a point here for waypoint A that's appeared and my route has updated to bring it into place. The other thing you can do, if you see my mouse here, I'm clicking and dragging. So you can create a waypoint by just dragging the point, anything along the route to where you want it to be. And automatically you see this point B appears in the list at the left. And then here I can move it around. And since I am doing walking, you can kind of see maybe that I'm not on a road, I'm on a path in a park. So it's taking that walking into account. If I'd done driving, it probably would have kept me on some roads instead of putting me around this path as we see here. So I'll go ahead and save. You can add some details about the trip as well over underneath the map, and there's an undo feature to undo your last point. And then to add more details about any one point, you can click on the little eye indicator next to start, destination, or any one of the waypoints. And as I open this up, you can put a name, a type of category. So this point, we'll call it our lunch stop. I'll refer to it as a restaurant. We'll keep it simple here, but you can do description, image, that sort of thing. We'll see a little bit more of that in a second when we do points of interest. But if I zoom out here, yeah, now you see a little fork and knife that indicates that there might be food there. So that's a little bit more detail that you can share with your clients through a trip in details. So I'll just go ahead and save. Now that we are back in the trips list, you can see my cherry blossom walking tours appeared up on top. I'll jump over to points of interest now and kind of show an example of that. So that's another one of the menu options that you have over here on the left side. And what points of interest are is it's kind of that same template model. So just to kind of explain it a little bit, it allows you to create a point and all the details one time and reuse it across many tours. So for example, I've picked a couple spots that happen to be around the tour I created earlier. And in each one, I went through the effort of, I put an image about it, a description, a website where more details can be found. There's a type, all that stuff. And the benefit here is you can define all that detail one time and then use it like I'm about to do here in a trip. So that World War II memorial, and then Jefferson Memorial, those are two of the points of interest. So I'll do that first one first. So if I go to add point of interest, when I add a point, you can see that those options are there. And you scroll back up. So a new point's appeared. You can see a little arc icon there. That's actually the point of interest being added. All those details are in place. I'll just do a little cleanup here. Yep, so you can see that that's all that detail from the other screen. I deleted the original and I'm just, you can grab and reorder points here. So yep, now you see that park we go through the recreation area, the point of interest and the route updates. Um, what I'll do now is actually again add another point of interest. So say points of interest, and now we'll add Jefferson Memorial. Hit save, and you can see that another point of interest has appeared. So the route has updated actually. I don't know if you caught that, but we're now going on the other side of this little body of water here, going from the start to destination and everything. So I didn't have to bother re-entering all this detail. It's there from when I created the point of interest once. So this is a great feature if you've got, business partners or maybe a restaurant that you send multiple tours through. You can really get all the details, maybe discount codes, whatever you think makes sense for you, and you can put all that in a point of interest, and then you got it there for every tour you plan. Things have updated here. I hit save, and now you can see the latest route, and you also see little indicators of those details here, like the description and name of the place. So those are points of interest. Now we'll kind of shift things and move over to clients. So in WolfPack, your clients are called travelers. So in this list, I've scrolled down a bit. You see I've got a bunch of, test accounts basically in this account here. But you've got registration date, which is you can see when they registered with your account, their name and everything, and active. This is actually an important one because this is where you can very easily see if somebody is billable, if you're being charged for somebody. So a traveler's you can upload, future clients pretty much at any time. When you start paying for them is when they get assigned into a tour group and start to go through experiences you planned on the platform. So adding a traveler, the basic option here is adding one by one. So it's as simple as first name, last name, and an email you can reach them at. So I'll just enter something in here for testing purposes. And we'll talk about it in a moment, but what's really great is an email, as you can see, there's a little indicator. An email is going to go to that person with instructions on how to get going, downloading the app and getting into their account. You see that they're not registered yet. They show up as pending. That's going to turn to the date when they set up their account. So it's very easy to see if everybody on your in your group is ready to go, or if somebody may need a little bit of a prompt or a new invite, which can be resent. On this screen is the bulk import. So we also have the ability, if you've got a list of clients coming in at once, and I won't show it, but we have a spreadsheet template that I clicked and downloaded, and it's as easy as adding names and emails in your list, and you drag and drop into this big box here to upload them. You get the ability to review the people that you've uploaded and approve it, and it's just a really easy way to add many people at once if you maybe have a large group coming in at the same time. So you see a bunch of groups down here that I've created before. And up at the top is how you can add a group. So up here, we'll stick with the theme. I'll just call it the Cherry Blossom group or something. I guess Cherry Blossom. Group leader would be maybe the tour guide. So you can select among your managers for somebody to lead the group. I'm putting in dates for their reservation, their booking dates. And yeah, here I think I do need to add somebody, so I'll just pick somebody um, from my team. And yeah, so then in the Assign Travelers tab, so I'm creating this group, and it's as easy as just clicking on people you want to have in. So these are all coming from your travelers list, searchable and really pretty easy. And now let's go back to that test user I created a while ago. So the name's John Doe here. You can see that they still show up as pending. We'll take a look now at what they see in, after I invite them into the account. This is the email that was generated when I added that John Doe test user, so JD2. You can see some branding. I've got like the logo for my organization appearing as well as the name. And the thing that's interesting here is there's a QR code. So let me show you this. Basically, the user with their mobile device, Android or iOS, can scan this QR code just like this, and it's going to take them to the correct app store for their device. So I'm on an iPhone here. So you see I click OK, and it's taking me directly to the Apple App Store where I can download the WolfPack client app. And once this loads, you'll see that I can just click open and maybe a couple permissions, but it'll load and boom, I'm into my account. So I didn't have to worry about passwords or login or anything. Really, what happens is when you onboard somebody, they get a link and they're directly into their account. So it really minimizes all the support you need. Coming back to the Wolfpack platform, I'll find John Doe here. Yep, and you see they're accessible now because they registered it, as you can see. And my number went from 4 to 5, and they're in my group. So I will go here back to trips. This is that tour that walking tour that we created earlier. And let's assign it to the group. So I'll press assign. And up above, there's a couple options. You can actually, if you know the group name, you just start typing it in search, or this button over here shows you the list of all your groups in the account. And you can, same thing, you can select the groups that you want. Got 2 cherry blossom tours here by accident, but I think it's this one. But you know what I'll do? I'll actually add both of them in just to show something else here. So I've got two groups up here in the top. Now I have a couple of options. I can have them all have the same schedule basically. So they're all going to be on this day. They're all going to be at this time here. I can pick a time zone. The other option is to customize for each group. So if I know that one is leaving this week, one's leaving a week from now, I can independently select those schedules. And then when I hit basically once I save my dates, it would assign a unique version of that trip on a unique schedule for each group. So I'll just do the one for now. Okay, and now we'll take a look at what things look like for that test user I created. So this is their mobile app, and you can see that that Cherry Blossom group that I created is here. You can access all the members and even participate in the chat. This chat is private to the members of the group, plus you and your fellow managers. It's intended for support reasons. Over here in trips, that walking trip that I created a while ago is here. Whoops. And you can see all the details in the little map. I can tap for more information. And if I tap on the map from here as a traveler, I can see a list of all the points along the way, as well as the points of interest details that were placed for me by the people I'm working with. And here's that Jefferson Memorial example. So all that information from the website ends up over here on their mobile app, and they can even navigate if that makes sense. Okay, and then just kind of wrapping things up. This is the dashboard. So it's actually the first view that you get when you come into the web app as a manager. Up at the top, you see very basic statistics. You can see how many of your groups are active, meaning somebody's out there right now, as well as the individual travelers. And then this area down here is a real-time map. So it is spun up with what looks like a road tour. So you can see the path of travel and then each individual pin for the travelers that are out there on this group. And my tour guide is in green there. Here you can see somebody seems to maybe have fallen behind, so this might be an opportunity to use the chat to make sure everything's going okay and that they don't need some support. So that completes today's walkthrough. We'd encourage you, if you have any questions, to reach out. Just let us know questions, ideas. We always welcome those. At this point, definitely check out the free trial. It's linked from our website, and you get full unlimited use of the system with no obligation during that free trial. So it's a good way to actually take some of what I went over and see how it fits your business and your organization. Beyond that, if you have any specific needs or you'd kind of like a little bit more of an idea around how you do your tours and how that can fit the system, you can definitely reach out to schedule a one-on-one demo session with us. Any information you can provide to us when you make that request will help us customize things for you. So we'd appreciate that. So yeah, the free trial is available. Reach out if you have any questions or would like to schedule a demo. And thanks for your time today.